Okay. People, pay attention.
Yo, what up, fool? We back.
Man, what's happening?
Yeah. I'm on the level already. Just know.
Don't start tonight.
What you mean don't
Do not
start?
start tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the infamous Let's Cook podcast.
And what we do here, big homie?
Man, we tell you all the shit that you think you know.
And the shit that you need to know.
I am your boy, LES. Always say less. You could say more, but why? I got the Melanin King sitting next to me.
I am Jay Fleming. One letter. Your mama loved me because I asked her to.
Okay. And
So, hold up. We got some people in the building. They didn't think we was really going to get ignorant tonight. They didn't think we was going to get ignorant tonight. We got a whole room. Can everybody in this room make some noise real quick? One good time. We're live
real
in the
Atlanta,
Martell Suite.
real Atlanta in the building.
Put a stamp on it.
Gripping the grain in the building.
The only person I ever said, hooly wooly, on a record before.
On the record. But
I felt that in my spirit.
But he ain't never scared, though.
Not never.
Not
'Cause
never.
If he have to go to the trunk with a loaded, it ain't for play.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen, the one and only Bonecrusher.
Hello.
Make some noise for him.
Hello. Good morning and good night.
Damn it, man. That shit made me feel good just now.
You all right?
Bruh, look, fandemonium moment. I'm sorry.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
But, sir,
We got to get into it.
we got a whole icon
We
here.
have to. What?
We got the first person to show up on BET and come straight out the shirt.
That's me, yes.
So listen.
Come on now.
I'm gonna keep it G with you.
Yeah.
When you was out there taking your shirt off,
Yes.
I was fucking cheering
You should have.
so goddamn hard. You understand what I'm
You
saying?
should have.
Look, I be taking my shirts off places they don't need
Yeah.
to be taken off.
That's right.
Balcony, shirt off.
That's right.
Beach, shirt off.
I feel that.
In the corporate office, shirt off.
Why not?
Say something else. Say something if I don't come out this shirt. Out of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Bonecrusher in the building.
Hey.
This is our influencer series, sponsored by the one and only Martell Liquors.
Martell, can we please clap it up for Martell?
Yeah, we drunk in this motherfucker. Yeah.
So, what we're trying to do here is bring a bridge between the new Atlanta and the legendary Atlanta together. I don't say the old Atlanta
come on
because
now.
they legendary.
on
Everybody
now.
from Outkast, Goody Mob, Kilo Ali,
MC Shadi, Raheem the Dream, Hitman Sammy Sam.
Hold on.
Okay.
Even the R&B singers.
Hold on, wait a minute. Mister.
Blackberry Molasses.
One of the things that never change.
And so I reached out to Bone because I wanted him to tell his story.
Come on now.
Before somebody else told his story and it don't be told right. You know what I'm telling you. So right now we're going to give the floor to Mr. Crusher. I got a couple questions for you.
Yo, talk to me.
I would like to know, tell me about coming up here in Atlanta.
Coming up from what side of it? When I was young or
From
music?
When you was young. I want to know what inspired you to do music. You was here. You was young. What made you go, I'm going to do music in Atlanta?
Oh, Run DMC really was my first inspiration. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go, well, my mom bought me some tickets, man, to see Fresh Fest at the Omni, which is now, it was Phillips. Now it's
Can we
now it's
shoot a
State
gunshot
Farm-
for the Omni real quick?
State Farm Arena. Yeah. And then I remember seeing Run DMC and LL Cool J. Joski Love was out there with the
With the Pee Wee Herman?
With the Pee Wee Herman.
Wow. Wow.
Get busy out. Whoa. And I was breakdancing back then, man.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait.
Did y'all hear what the man just said?
Yeah, I was breakdancing back then. I was smaller back then.
What was you? What was your nickname? If you was breakdancing, you
I ain't had no nickname. Big Wayne.
We telling real OG stories
Yeah,
right here right
man.
now.
That was my first inspiration in the hip hop. Like my voice, I would, God rest my grandmother. I would take my grandmother's oldest Redding tapes and Big Band Ben and record over them. Right, my grandmother got so pissed at me. She's like, why would you tape on my goddamn tapes? I would have just bought you some goddamn tapes. Why are you taping on my tapes? What the hell are you doing anyway with this hip-hop, bebop, beat, bop, 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 bop? I was like, I don't know, Grandma, I'm an idiot. But I did a lot of crazy things when I was a kid. But I remember recording my voice and listening to my voice, and I was rapping. I did run, DMC. Then I would say that, and I was like, I don't sound like them. I thought I was whack. I was like, man, my voice don't sound like theirs. It's too big. I need to make my voice sound like theirs, not knowing that my voice was the shit.
Gonna make
you know,
amazing.
to make me whatever I am now. But I had friends, man, like I would battle dudes that would really be rappers, and I would beat them, and I really wasn't a rapper. So I would freestyle against them, whatever they be saying, what the fuck they saying, and they real rappers. And I'd be like, man, you can't rap. So I'll fucking rap your ass out, nigga. No. Whatever, Big Wayne, man, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, nigga, let's do it. So I would go from break dancing to actually rapping against the guy that would kill him. And then after a while, my homeboy, after many, many years of doing that, my homeboy, DJ Smurf, he told me, he told me, he said, man, you know what? I used to DJ too. He's like, man, you ain't really that good a DJ. I'll be real with you, Bone. Oh, but Big Wayne. I wasn't Bone then, Big Wayne. I said, yeah. He said, well, you can rap like a motherfucker. I said, man, you should be a rapper. I was like, man, fuck rap, nigga. I'm a DJ pimping. I'm a DJ. I'm a dancer. I do what I want to do, bro. I'm going to tell you something about me. He was like, man, all right, big boy, you know, whatever you say. You know, he's a little guy. He was like, man, whatever you say, Big Wayne, man, just don't hit me in the face. You know, so, yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
When did Big Wayne become Bonecrusher?
I used to fight like when I was a kid. And
I heard that.
Nah.
They tried you though, right?
Nah.
yeah, I mean,
It's because of your hair.
No, you know, when I was younger, my grandpa made me really, really tough because of my neighborhood. I'm from Adamsville. Mm-hmm. So being
One
a pretty
time for
boy in
Adamsville.
Adamsville, it doesn't work. So I had to, he toughened me up real, like hard. Like I used to be in the mirror looking at myself, you know, like my grandma was like, you good looking boy. I was like, damn, my grandma, am I good looking? Am I good looking, grandma? I said, yeah, you good looking boy. And as soon as she leave out, my grandpa come right behind her ass. Get your goddamn ass out that motherfucking mirror. Block, punch you in your face. I be like, man, I am living in a weird situation. Like 1 minute she tell me I look good, this other dude tell me I'm ugly. So I for many years I had a guy when I was younger. He used to try to bully me when I was in elementary school, and I went from Wayne to Big Wayne with this one. This guy, his name was Malcolm, whatever his name was. And he would try to bully me, and then I met him outside on the playground. He was playing dodgeball. Back then when kids you go outside and play, I don't know if they still play no more.
It's nothing
Ain't
like
no more
that
recess, you know.
Yeah.
We had recess.
So sad.
So we was playing dodgeball, and I hit him too hard. He got mad. Nigga, I whip your ass. I said, man, today ain't the day, nigga. Yeah. So he ran up on me. I said, bruh. I just lunged into him and hit him. When I hit him, I realized I'm pretty goddamn strong. So I hit him again. He fell out. Whoop. He fell out. Wow.
So hold on. Wait a minute. So to our listeners out there, we just learned the origin story of Bonecrusher.
Hey, man.
Big
He
Wayne.
really knocked the nigga bone loose.
Do not forget Big Wayne.
Hey, man.
Because Big Wayne came before Bonecrusher.
Yeah, Big Wayne.
Big
Wayne.
This sounds like a movie, The Legend of Big Wayne.
Hey, man.
Let's go ahead and copyright that. Get you
I'm
some
trying to tell you, we need to
The
get the
Legend
money.
of
We need to
Big
get the
Wayne.
money. The money's available.
Hello.
It is available. But I went through that. Then once I did that one time, you know, it's kind of like, you know, there's tiers to your life, right? If you get bullied too much, you become the sucker nigga, a sucker boy when you're young, and then as you get older, it could damage you mentally and whatever. But because I didn't allow the dude to bully me, and I took control of myself at that point in my life, it kind of made me go up. So I've been popular since then. So I was 9 years old. So from 9 till now, I've never not been popular.
That's a life to live, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of famous people that's broke as shit.
Yeah.
Like famous and broke go well together.
Yeah. It does.
Saying.
It does.
But
And
you're
that's
not
sad as
famous
hell.
and broke, though. So
No.
congratulations.
Yeah, I am. I'm broke. I have nobody.
I don't want to suffer the
I have
fate of
nobody.
some of
I have
my
nobody.
contemporaries by saying.
Yeah, I'm broke. I'm living bad.
You here in Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
You hearing
bro.
all the new things going on, and Big Wayne is out there knocking boys off now. He's becoming Bonecrusher.
Yeah.
Where you were growing up at, who influenced you rap-wise here in Atlanta?
Oh, man, that's easy. Raheem, DJ Toomp, Shadi, Smurf, Success and Effect,
Whoa.
Ghetto Mafia.
Yo, listen,
One time for Ghetto Mafia straight from the deck.
Ghetto Mafia got me in trouble in Carolina.
I bet they did.
They got me in trouble.
They getting in trouble now.
From the deck.
I was one of them badass kids.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure everybody heard what I was listening to and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was singing billows, not motherfucking pillows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pillows, not pillows.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did.
Right.
And so, I used to get in trouble with a lot of shit, but
Yeah.
that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, man. That's definitely my influence, locally, It's been a, when I was a DJ, I listened to a lot of Magic Mike, who's a really good friend of mine. But Magic Mike and Rodney O and Joe Cooley and, and J-Team tapes. I don't know if y'all know about them. But
Can I just give my love for Humps in the Boulevard
Yeah.
by Rodney O and Joe Cooley,
I'm
please?
trying to tell you.
I'm sorry. He got me in my zone. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just in a whole different place. Don't play with me.
I'm trying to
Don't
tell
play
you.
with me. We'll pop a trunk.
It don't get no better.
You know what?
We will pop a trunk, get somebody whole kicker system, and blow out the block.
Okay.
Come on now. Back when they had the wedge speakers in the back dash.
Severn Vegas, 27 Vegas.
Come on now.
Huh?
Come on
The
now.
Alpine system.
Somebody had 5 stars on their car.
You take all your shocks out your car and let your car fall on the ground.
And just let it bounce. Every bump you hit.
Lose
Somebody
up your
call
tags so the bass will rattle even
We
harder.
was taking the house speakers and hooking them shits up in the
I'm
trunk.
trying to tell you, yeah.
Blowing all my mama's shit and then replacing them hoes. Like,
Beautiful. Man, I tore up about 12 belt-driven turntables at my grandma's house. Until she just got tired of it and told me, don't touch her shit no more.
I got a record player now. My father left me like 200-300 records.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
And they old school records and shit.
I be trying to rob him every time.
My dad doing the same thing? My dad do the same thing?
And my son, he comes down here, this little motherfucker, right?
Right.
And he thinks he's DJ Scratch.
Yeah.
And he
Scratch
took
is
my
a family thing.
he took my
One
Jay-Z
time
Black
DJ
album, special edition vinyl, and was Ibrick. Look, baby girl, working just don't quit. DJ Manny freshed my shit. The whole record is done now. So I feel your grandmother. I'd almost killed the nigga. Almost killed the nigga.
Yeah. Kids don't appreciate it. But let's
Nothing.
talk about something else, though. Let's talk about something else.
I want to know where you found your sound. When did you go? This is the Bonecrusher sound. This is what I sound like.
I'll be honest with you. It was a process of growth, and I didn't realize I had obtained it. I had been performing on stages for about 10, 15 years before you guys even heard me. And I had performed with a band back in the day, The Chronicle. And that's every week I would perform. And I would just cultivate this sound of who Bonecrusher is. A good friend of mine told me that Bonecrusher has to be something that's undeniable, a menace. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So I remember I did a show and I was just standing still. He was looking at me like, nah, Bone, you shouldn't stand still. You should run around. You got too much energy to be standing still. I said, man, you know what? You are absolutely correct.
You one of the best big man in shape motherfuckers ever to run. You understand what I'm saying? We see you on the goddamn stage. You're running from that side to that side,
Hey,
and I
man.
believe it's Cottonmouth that's with you, and he running from that
Yeah,
side
man.
to that side.
When you see all the hair
And it be
and belly,
belly
swinging,
Bruh,
what?
look.
Life is great, isn't it?
When
Oh my God!
20th
available,
anniversary,
guys.
Come on now.
20th anniversary, So Def
Yeah.
thing. I don't know what Big Tigger was doing up there.
You know, Tigger, wait a minute, man. Tigger is one of the guys that was one of the first
Probably
guys in New
play the
York
song, right?
to really go Hamuel on the promotion of me.
That nigga said Hamuel.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
We are
man.
marking that down. We
Yeah.
are
I
using
fucking
that.
want that word.
Yeah, he
Hamuel.
was Hamuel on me, man. I really appreciate Tigger. Tigger's a real good friend of mine. So,
I don't know what he was doing up there, but he was lit the fuck up.
Hey man, no, Tigger always go on stage with me. We did Summer Jam. He was on stage with me. When I do anything big, Tigger's on.
I think Tigger really wanted to be your hype man, but he ain't want to take nobody's
Listen,
spot.
Tigger has been wanting to be a real rapper since the basement.
Because he be killing people in the basement.
He's
still killing niggas in the basement.
Yo, I felt so bad for Tigger. I was like, yo, I don't know why Tigger just don't drop an album.
He did.
Hey, why you don't, he did.
He did a record. He did a whole album with Busta Rhymes.
Oh no!
Whoa.
Look at us.
Whoa.
And we are usually on it.
And I'm mad. I'm slipping.
We are on that one.
It's going down.
We are going to be on that
Can
one.
I ask Bone one question?
What's up?
I'm going to ask numerous, of course.
You're
But
gonna ask what?
numerous.
What is? Okay,
Numerous.
I'm gonna just.
I snatch SAT words out the air sometimes. You know what
I
I'm
see
saying?
you using
It
the
may
double
not
point
be
Scrabble words.
a SAT word, but in my spirit, I feel really smart because I use the word with multiple syllables.
Good copy.
I'm great with words. So there's a lot of artists that have undeniable, recognizable voices.
Right.
Like everybody knows Method Man's voice. Everybody knows Chuck D's voice. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
It's a certain thing about just their tone. Did you ever think that you would be among the list of all of the people that have ever picked up a microphone and made a record that the world has known? That you would be a part of that elite list of voices that the minute you hear it, it's undeniable. Because be clear, listeners, when Bonecrusher dropped, even back with Lyrical Giants, okay, not many people had a significant like catchphrase or a tag.
Right.
I know millions of people walk up on you every day and holler attention every time they see
All the time.
you, okay?
How does that shit make you feel?
Good, man. I mean, it's like it's amazing until you
I'm sorry.
until you're in the Walmart line and somebody just come up to you, attention! What's happening, dog? How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
And I know here in Atlanta, it got crazy
Hey, man,
everywhere.
Hey, let me tell you something. The only thing with fame is that it becomes very, especially if you have worldwide fame. It could become very irritating. But you work hard for that, so you got to take that with everything else that comes along with that. So I appreciate every fan. I got to a point when from 2002 to 2009, I couldn't go nowhere. And it got kind of weird for me. I was like, yo, only time I can go to Walmart is at 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't go nowhere. It was like everywhere I went.
Sucks.
I mean, it was cool though. It wasn't like death or nothing. It was just kind of like fans. Like people come up to you taking pictures. Hey man, blah 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 blah. You know. And then I would never get irritated because I understand it comes with the job. With my kids, they didn't like it too much. Like my daughter to this day, she still don't like it. Like she don't like it at all. Period. Like I'd be like, come hang out. She'd be like, nah, I'm gonna be over here and be normal, Dad. You go there and be where the hell you want to be over there. I'm gonna be over here normal. You know, they be looking at me like I'm.
Kids don't appreciate shit.
They don't appreciate shit. They don't appreciate nothing. You know what I mean? But I love it though, man. I'll be honest with you. I think it's the best thing ever. It makes sure my lights stay on, and I can eat every day.
See that's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. It's more than a blessing, man. It is an honor. And like I told my mother on Mother's Day, my sister was talking about a good friend of ours. It was retired, and she would come downtown and just kind of walk around and find things to do. I was like, man, I'm retired too. My mom was like, no, you're not. You're still working. I said, no, I'm not. I do this every day, all day. That's all I do all day. It's just talk and wake up when I want to wake up, go to sleep when I want to go to sleep. And then if I want to work, I work. And it's kind of that's a blessing.
Yeah, because a lot of people are not doing what they truly want to do in this life.
That's a fact.
And that eats at a lot of people's mental,
Yeah.
you know, and so that's definitely a blessing, man. So I appreciate that our artists don't necessarily get washed away and they have a funk fest or another tour or so def. And that brings me to my second. Like, Jermaine Dupri, we talking about him all the time.
We had a
Jermaine
show
Dupri,
dedicated to him.
A whole show, actually.
Right.
It was like 2 hours.
Right.
Because he's that legendary.
Right.
Tell me about Jermaine playing your song and then becoming a part of So Def.
I've been knowing JD for a very long time. I actually drew the logo for So Def. The first
Afro
logo,
Man?
not the Afro Man.
Oh, okay,
Nah.
okay.
The graffiti one.
Yeah.
Skip drew the Afro Man. But
Wow, I remember.
I've been on JD going to the house over there in College Park since the early 90s. And, I would go through, like Lil Jon, Crunk Lil Jon, he would be like, yo, man, come to this. We just hang out. I was with Black Market at the time. And for many years, I'll be like, I would never tell nobody I could rap. So when I finally did tell JD I could rap, he was kind of like, yeah, okay. Like, right, yeah, all right, Bone, bet. So he knew I could draw, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just drawing stuff. Like I would draw anything they want me to draw. I just draw it, and then he'll throw me, $400 or $500. At the time, it's a lot of money because I was broke. But he would be like, yo, man. So I saw him at this club right across the street from Hard Rock we talked about earlier, Levels. And I told him, yo, man, I got this record. Tell me what you think. He said the only reason he listened to the record was because, one, it was me, and for two, it was me. He was kind of like, yo, no way, Bone, what is Bone giving me? And he was like, yo, the fact that I wasn't like pressing him on it impressed him enough to be like, yo, I'm going to just check it out. So he checked it out. He had a show on the radio station called So Def Radio. And he was like, yo, my man Bonecrusher, this record right here is about to be the biggest record in the world.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was like, yo, this record is out of here. He said, yo, y'all know what Bonecrusher is. Tell him to call me ASAP, right? At the time, JD needed an artist like me because he was signing a major imprint deal with Arista called Arista Black Culture. It was him and L.A. Reid. And before, JD was the first guy to jump on it. Then he immediately started friending me instantly. He was like, yo, Bone, man, hey, man, come on, man. Bruh, sign with me. I was like, man, no, man. At the time, my record is blowing by itself. I'm at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 spins. And the record, I have no record deal. Period. I have nothing. Man, I'm talking about, I'm getting phone calls from people that I don't know how they got my number. Sylvia Rome, Russell Simmons, Kevin Lyles, Jimmy Iovine.
How was that call from Russell, though?
It was crazy. He was like, yo, Bone, yo, Bone. Listen.
Russell, Uncle Rush. Boy.
Listen.
He said Bone. The Bone Thugs and Hard
Right.
He's like Bone.
Bone. Listen. I need you on Def Jam. I was like, yeah, Russ, man. I said, yo, man, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Back then I had a Sprint flip phone. So,
One time for the flip phone.
Yeah, it was crazy. But he was like, yo, man, like, yo, Bone, man, like, I want you to come to Def Jam. And then all of a sudden, everybody just stopped calling me. Come to find out, JD called everybody and was like, yo, Bone is with me. I didn't know this until after I signed. Like, yo, I'm not with. I was like, yo, everybody stopped calling. I was like, yo, everybody stopped calling me. It was me and my boy Dan Brown, who is the label I was signed to at the time, was Break 'em Off. Shouts out to Break 'em Off, Dan Brown. And he was
Dan
like,
Brown's legendary, too.
yeah, it's my boy. So Dan was taking care of my finances then. He was a really good dude, man. He was like, yo, Bone, man, you got something, bro. You going to blow up. He knew before anybody knew. People I was all the way around was looking at me like, bro, Bone, man, whatever. Everybody thought I was crazy. Real talk. Everybody thought I was crazy, like, because I would fight and act crazy or whatever. But people only call me when it's time to fight. They wouldn't call me to no music. But then it's like 2 or 3 people that knew that I could do it. T.I., Pastor Troy, Organized Noise. I would work with people, KP. I would work with people, and they'd be like, yo, bro, man, your voice, man, you 1 record away. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? 1 record away? I'm still working at Wawa House. Nigga, what record I need? And I'm steady doing records. But when JD finally got a hold of it, and he finally told everybody, told Kevin Lyles, yo, man, Bone, stop calling Bone, right? So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. We get in the office at Southside. Southside. Me and Dan. And JD's like, yo, man, boom. I gotta have it, man. I gotta have you, dog. I was like, all right, man. At the time, I'm doing shows now, so I'm good. I think I'm rich. I'm doing shows for $3,000 a show. I'm balling to me. I'm coming from $300 a week to $3,000 a show. And I'm doing them shows all weekend.
Back to back.
Right? I'm like, man, I'm making $15,000 a weekend. Bruh, I'm good. Right? So I'm just sitting there. So me and Dan sitting there. He's like, Jason, yo, man, bruh, I can't do 20 million. I said, okay. So me and Dan, we got the cold face. He said, man, I could do this amount. He said, boom, Dan, I got it happen. I said, hey, man, all right, man. All right, dog, no problem, man. Nobody tripping. He walks out. He said, man, I'll let y'all think about it. So me and Dan like, yeah, whatever, nigga. As soon as that motherfucker walked out that door, boy, me and Dan was like, nigga, you know that motherfucker? What? My nigga Dan, that nigga, we rich, nigga,
Nigga, we made it.
We made it. We rich in the motherfucker, nigga. I know he had the heels. We were loud as hell. Man, we rich as a motherfucker. So I was like, so he came back in. He said, so what y'all think? I was like,
I should have done.
Yeah, we'll do it. He was like, he said what? He said,
Cool hand Lucas.
Right.
I ain't impressed.
I'm going to sign your little deal.
Yeah, I'll sign it, bro. No, really, I was like, yeah, we'll do it. He said, say it again. I said, yeah, we'll do it. He said, shit. To this day, I have never seen JD as excited about nothing. This day.
As a fan.
You had a monster.
As a fan, can I just say this?
Monster.
That was the start of a whole
that
wave.
Yes, I guess.
And that's
That
another,
was the start of a
but see, that's
whole
another
wave,
reason we
bro.
brought you here today.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will not give you the credit that you deserve.
Facts.
You know, for this Crunk thing.
Right.
When you jumped off
Yeah.
with Never Scared,
Yeah.
Mike was going through a situation with Big.
Yeah.
And Tip was coming off of I'm Serious.
Yeah.
And that was a rough spot for those two legends at that time.
Right.
Never Scared brought everybody back.
Yeah.
Killer Kill from the Ville
Yeah.
reminded everybody else he had them goddamn lyrics. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got a hot fever. Call that bitch Bonita.
But this was
Okay.
when I'm in Carolina and I'm hearing this, right? So Carolina, I'm in South Carolina and in Georgia, everybody country can folks, right?
All right.
So when something drop here, we definitely get it there.
All right.
And I hear this record, right? And I'm looking at my partner like, oh, they finna tear this fucking club up. Like I've been in club twice when shit has gone absolutely haywire.
Yeah.
And that's one time to 3-6 Mafia's tear the club up.
That's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one.
And Never Scared came on, and I ain't never been so goddamn scared in my life. I'm behind the goddamn DJ booth. They throwing shit. I said, you know what? Whenever I meet this nigga Bonecrusher, I got to tell him you ain't shit for this record right now. You understand what I'm telling you? Tell me about the stadium. 90,000.
Oh, New York.
90,000.
In New York?
New York.
It was
Is
crazy.
that when you know you made it?
Hell no, I know I made it when Atlanta liked it. I
Come on
didn't
now.
care nothing about that. I mean, I still don't to this day. If anybody knows me, I don't chest pump at all. I don't really be caring about that. So I just kind of get caught off in the feeling of the music. I appreciate how the city has grown. But the first time I did it was with Buster. And I remember I met a good friend of mine who's still a good friend to this day, Sonny Anderson, who was on the radio at Hot 97. And I remember interviewing with her first, and she was blown away by me because I didn't sound country, and I didn't sound ignorant, and I didn't sound like she thought I was supposed to sound because I'm screaming and crazy on the record. Right? So she was kind of like, yo, like who are you? I was like, well, I'm Bonecrusher, and I'm vaingloriously happy to be here, and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yo, man, like, yo, JD sound a fucking superstar. I said, oh, you want to call me a superstar? She said, yeah, you're amazing. I was like, I appreciate it, man. You know, I get bashful when people talk about how good I am.
Man, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, especially all that goddamn work you put in.
Hey, man.
Especially all of the work it took to take Atlanta where Outkast was at to where they thought the city fell off, and then you, John, Banner, Tip took that shit to a whole different level. With them Luck If You Buck kids.
Can I be cocky on behalf of Bonecrusher real quick?
You should be.
Just for a quick second. I'm gonna talk his shit because he's a humble man. I'm gonna talk some shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Melanin King is finna talk that
Give
shit.
me a second. Okay. A lot of the things that you have grown to love about this genre of Southern hip hop, the new formula that creates hits nationwide.
Right.
If you do not acknowledge this man in front of me as one of the architects of the sound
You're a liar.
that you call trap or whatever label you want to put on it, okay? We're talking about From the Soil, took all the love, pain, and conflict and put it into something that was, as he coins it, van-glorious.
Indeed.
Okay? There was a shift that happened once that song dropped. As soon as you hear boom, boom, boom.
Hey, it was an earthquake when my album dropped. You know, right?
It's a difference.
It was an earthquake in Georgia when my album
They
dropped.
got these memes going around that say, that shit different when it hit some different type of way, right? Listen.
Every person that
The
ever
club is
felt the
different.
type of way, when
When that
you
shit
heard,
Yeah.
I ain't never scared. It didn't matter what situation you was going through in your life. That
But
song
ain't-
became your
but that ain't
motherfucking
it,
anthem
though.
at one point.
But that ain't it, though. You see, you got young fellas and young ladies who think never scared is where it ends at. No.
Hell no. Hell no.
When he did the Killer Mike shit, look, you was T-Pain in it for a while. And niggas ain't giving you that credit, too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you was out here smacking niggas on
Oh,
those goddamn.
no, wait, let's be clear. Bonecrusher put checks in a lot of
Listen.
people's pockets. He changed a lot of people's lives out here
Listen.
I did.
with that attention. If he holler attention on your track, if he just walk on the set in your video, your whole level has just been elevated. We are not gonna sit here and act as if this man did not really change some
of the
shit
Atlanta
around here,
hip-hop culture.
and not by himself. But he put a lot of shit on his back. I'm gonna talk the shit for you.
Hey, man, I appreciate
Because
Don't
as,
talk too much
as,
shit,
as a 36-year-old man that was born and raised,
you telling
in the
your
South.
age?
Yes, I am. I'm letting you know. I got silvers.
What if
in
people
my
think
beard. I
we
got
younger than
silvers.
that?
That's all right. I'm learning them something. I'm learning them something.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm
I'm
learning-
I'm learning them something.
I'm learning them something.
I'm learning them.
This is a teachable moment. It's a teachable moment. We have no problem with anything that's out right now. Y'all do your thing. We salute y'all. Go out there and get it. Be your best.
Martell,
What
we
I'm
might not have a
saying is-
sponsor next week.
No. This is not a disrespectful moment. I'm keeping it all on the road. What we like to do here at Let's Cook is remind those who may have forgotten what the foundation looks like. And we are in the presence of a pillar
Word.
of that foundation.
Word.
You understand? There's people that came before when he mentioned names like Shadi.
Yeah,
There's people that came before that cultivated the land, right?
indeed.
And there were seeds that were planted.
For sure.
If y'all know anything, I'm a country boy, so I know about a plant called kudzu.
Indeed.
What kudzu does, it grows a deep, heavy root that's hard to get
They
out
brought
the
it here
ground.
from Vietnam.
Yes, they did. Now, what kudzu does? I got to get it out. Let me get it out now.
You
What-
are going the fuck.
I told you. I was ready for
You done
this.
took
I
it
have
to-
been
you
waiting
took it
on
to
this
the-
moment. See, I take it personal when it comes to folks that I grew up admiring, that I listened to, that actually played
But I
a
told
factor
him-
in
but I
my
told
life.
him- but I told
I
him
was
that.
in college when your
But I told him that,
joints
though.
dropped. And see, the thing is, what kudzu does, it grows and it takes over whatever population it's at.
That's real.
It can cut things off.
Yeah, it kills
Or
them.
it can help certain things grow if it props it up. So what I need you to know is people talk about how the South is taking over the genre, how the South is taking over everything. There was levels to it. This wasn't an overnight thing. And when you're in the presence of somebody who's planted their flag in the ground and they're not too up on their shoulders to forget who laid the groundwork for them to walk, it's on us to salute that and have that teachable moment with the young ones who may not know. I can't blame the kids that don't know if nobody ever taught them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk some big shit for OG in the room. Because it's on the young ones like myself to salute the OGs
nigga, you're 36.
and be thankful for what
young.
they've done. So
just
I'm
let
gonna clap it
everybody
up for my partner in here for doing what he did, and I want everybody to make some goddamn noise. Okay? I'm sorry. I wouldn't know I was on the soapbox, but I had to do
so
it.
I need you to get off there real quick.
I'm
okay?
sorry,
Because
man.
this man time is limited.
I'm sorry. Forgive
Okay.
me.
First of all, I told him that we were major fans when I wrote him.
I didn't know if you let him know how
didn't
deep
need to know
rooted it
that.
is for me.
You didn't need to.
I'm sorry. I
get it.
felt I was obligated to let him know face to face. Okay.
So
I smacked a lot of people in
my
college
partner
because
Jay
of
is
that
a huge fan of yours.
Hey, man, appreciate you, brother.
song. I've been waiting.
He said it so eloquently.
Now,
you, but I try.
now
I try, sir.
here was my thing, right? Just like I was saying, never scared is not the end of it.
Right.
I just want to know what the room felt like when you made reaction with Bun B, Killer Mike.
It's
and
crazy. We did that at Stinkonia.
Because
And,
that doesn't. I want you to hear me. That doesn't rock like it rocks unless you were on that motherfucking chorus.
You know, I tell you what, man. I tell you how that record came about. KP asked me and Lil Jon to do the record, the remix to the record. Lil Jon redid the beat. We was at Sound Lab over in Marietta, and I remember John was in the back A room and I was in the B room, and the record was playing. He was playing from the beginning, and then I was like, yo. So I'm listening to the original, the actual new record. It's more like jungle-like sound.
Right.
But John put the crunk thing on, and I was like, yo, I got a hook, man. I got the bows on my lap. Swerving with the killer, got the hump in the bag. In the hood, well, man. With the I got that new killer, killer.
I'm sorry. Bro, look, I'm sorry. I felt it in my spirit. It was in the ball. It was in the ball just now. Okay? Hold on, wait. Wait, hold on. I got my brother in the room. Twin. The Merc. With the in the front. From the living room.
I told you we was tearing all types of parents'
riding
pictures up.
all down Casita Road with that song.
Right.
Killing the whole south side of Columbus with that one song. And if you looked at the car wrong at the red light, we gonna shout that hook at your face.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
No.
I'm sorry,
Now-
we was reckless.
now,
as young
when
men.
them two records came out, he was like, God damn, this nigga Bone is fucking murking shit. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then
Can't nothing keep a real nigga down. That's Cujo Goody.
Right. Boom, boom, boom.
From the front to the back, can you feel my woofer's brain?
Right.
hold on, wait a minute. I just wanted to ask you, who the fuck made you do that?
That's a Negro spiritual.
That
If I heard
record,
that,
we were talking about that off there. That record was a tribute to Texas and Memphis. You know, like that calming down, bumping, knocking pitches out the wall. That's straight Texas. Absolutely. And the whole grip in the grain. I'm talking Maine, and then that's all Memphis. Scooby's on that record. Lady Ice is on that record. Then we did a remix with Lil Flip and Bomb B on the record, so it really was Texas.
Shout out to Lil Flip. I still fuck with you.
Yeah.
Flip Arachi is a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, but the record, a lot of those records.
The record is what? Legendary?
Whatever.
Iconic.
But, whatever. But the record.
Magical even.
Let me tell you something.
Whatever, man.
Nigga, Mad Dog 2020 is that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, Red Dog 2020.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Hey.
People sneaking to get liquor, riding up and down the street, bumping that shit. That's
Yeah,
how,
that record bust a lot of speakers.
And then you ain't shit. You jump on the record and scream attention, blow everybody's
Yeah.
shit out. And now we gotta go back and get some new shit.
But
That was a call to arms. Do you understand
I don't know
me?
if it was a call.
The minute you
I
hear
wanted to
that,
fuck
you
some
just
shit
know,
up.
hey, look, it's time to put in some
I
work.
wanna
Some
fuck
furniture
some
need
shit
to
up.
be moved. You need to give somebody your jewelry and the keys and an emergency number.
Yeah.
Because it might go down tonight. I don't know where the night is going to take me, but I heard, attention, nigga, I lined up. Salute,
listen.
let's go.
We was in the club in Charleston, right?
One time for the Chuck.
And the Chuck, we real specific about what we really like. You know,
Right.
You're gonna get West Coast sometimes, and then you're gonna get some down south stuff.
right.
But when Bone, Tip, and Banner came on, listen,
It's a different type of energy, brother.
It was a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, niggas would literally be having water bottles, swinging them shits everywhere, and water everywhere, heat everywhere, sweat everywhere. Niggas is yelling, bitches is drowning. It was a fucking magical scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I was high.
High is good.
Hold on.
Not bad.
Can I explain something real quick? So I was in college one time for Savannah State, one time for Savannah College of Art and Design.
Man, I don't care about your school.
Hold on, wait. I gotta hold it down. Wait a
give a shit
second.
about your
Wait a
school.
minute. So this was
Shout
around
out to Emory Riddle.
2003,
What the fuck I look like?
2004, this time frame, and all I know is whenever your voice came through the speakers,
That shit's magical.
there's only maybe 3 songs that I can remember that would completely rip a club in Savannah apart. Tear the club up, 3-6 Mafia.
Right.
R.I.P. Camouflage when he say hit him with a bottle,
Camouflage.
hit him with a
Wow.
chair.
Camouflage is my family.
Camouflage was on his way.
Yes, he
man.
was.
It's gonna be that
I
fuck
was
friends.
working
Yeah.
at my frat brother's shop.
About
I
to take
pressed
him
up
out.
them Pure
About to
Pain
take him out.
shirts. I was in there pressing up
Yeah.
those shirts, and when they tell you
So
it
you
killed
my
the
cousin,
city,
Really?
Word.
when he
Word.
passed,
Man,
Word.
brother.
Word.
that killed the city. That really hurt the city. But whenever you
Wasted.
heard hit him with a bottle, hit him with a chip, I've seen it. I actually used to throw parties, and the guy didn't want to pay me for doing the party, and we played that.
You
And,
ain't shit.
yeah.
See, I knew
because he didn't want to
you
pay
see-
me. He didn't want
you
to
see
pay
how
me.
he started.
I
All
got
the good.
look.
Shout out to my college.
Look,
And, he broke.
I'm
so
just
you can
saying,
take- just so you can take.
If
he was
I
breaking
show
shit
up at 10 o'clock and you got techno playing when Pastor Troy's supposed to perform, and I say, let me go ahead and hit the decks to keep the crowd going.
Pastor Troy, I know you.
And then you don't want to
got
pay me.
come
It's
here, too.
3-something in the morning, and I saved your club. It's a bunch of West Side Seapoke niggas in there wanting to hear Troy, and you playing techno, and I save your night. You don't want to pay me? Nah, hit him with a bottle, hit him with a chair, hit him with a bottle, and then I go straight to tear the club up, tear the club. And the only other song I ever seen do it was you, sir.
Yeah.
So I mean, your
Actually-
legacy is amazing,
actually
right?
Hey,
burn it
You
down.
make people tear shit up.
Hey, man, that's what they say.
Hold on, wait.
I tell you though. I tell you, man, the part that really, like Atlanta and the South to me, well, I knew that was going to happen. Like, but with New York and you know the whole up north embraced what we were doing, that was huge, and it was because we were so engrossed with being really, really good because New York had the crown. We made sure that the music that we had was viable and very, very had no holes in it. So our shows was better, our energy was bigger. And I remember the editor from The Source, we did a cover for The Source magazine, and the editor was like, all you rappers out here, and at the time they were, you know, going through the still beef in New York and the West Coast was still beefing. And she was like, you know, if y'all trying to figure out where your audience at, here's your audience. And it was a picture of Lil Jon in front of like 20,000 people performing. He was throwing, and she called it, whoever took the picture took a dope shot. It was like John making champagne bottles, blowing the air, and everybody was going crazy. And I remember when I walked out my hotel room in the Mauritania right there on Broadway. That's when David Letterman was still around. That's
Right.
crazy. And I walked, you could drive down the Broadway through Broadway then. And I walked down and I just looked up, man. It was like a big, over the Virgin Megastore was my album cover was huge over the Virgin Megastore. And John was across the street.
That's crazy.
On big over MTV, and Banner was across on the other side, big. So it was kind of like,
Trifecta.
it was like, it brought me to tears though, for real. Like,
That's
real
real shit,
talk,
though.
because I said to myself, like, I can remember when these motherfuckers was calling us Bama and
Right.
whack and whatever.
So,
And-
ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, perseverance takes you from the Waffle House to Madison Square.
It did.
Perseverance. I know Jay got on the soapbox and was telling you about the roots.
Talk
but
that.
you got to understand, anytime in life that you do anything that you are passionate about,
Yeah.
and you put an actual effort into it, especially black folks, we dope already. So
Talk
everything
that.
you're going to do is going to be super dope too.
Yeah.
So one time for everybody out there that's persevering through their situation, if you hear Bone's story, Here more than just I'm never scared. Here a brother that has gone from the trenches to Waffle House to Madison Square and is still doing it. And
Giant Stadium.
And
Come on now.
And 93 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
3 years. How you rock that shit? The song was
tell you,
over
hey.
after like the second year. So when you get called back for the encore, what you thinking?
The third time I did it, the first time I did it, it was at the height of it. So it was ridiculous.
Pandemonium, huh?
Man, them motherfuckers was throwing chairs and shit in that motherfucker.
Bro, I watched it
I
on
was like,
TV.
I was
I
like,
thought B2K
yo,
was
am I in the bounce or I'm in Madison? If I'm in the Giant Stadium,
Bro, I thought B2K was on the goddamn stage when you got up there. Them motherfuckers was going nuts.
Oh, you talking about the millennial thing?
Yes.
Yeah, she was crazy. But I mean, just imagine that times 10 back then.
Sheesh.
It was like, bruh, when I tell you, man, I don't even know. A lot of that was just a blur to me because we were doing so much stuff. It was like I was doing I can't even remember half the stuff I was doing. Like even when we was on tour, I was on tour with the Rock the Mic for a whole year. And I remember Jay-Z telling me, like, he pulled me to the side, was like, yo, like, welcome. You
You here now.
You here. Like he was just kinda like, yo, welcome, Bone. Like,
Yo,
I appreciate
listen,
you
Bone,
coming on the tour, man. Like you in the fold. And I was like, man, I appreciate it, bro. He was like, yo, man, every time you ever need me, man, let me know. And I was like, cool, bet. I didn't really care about that shit.
Yeah.
I'll just be real with you. I appreciate him saying that. But at the time I was so hardcore Atlanta, I didn't realize the importance of mending the gap at that point.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I was kind of like, man, you know what?
But you know, Hov give love to down south artists.
He does.
He gives so much.
That's what I'm
love.
saying.
In a real way.
He
gives
does.
so much, and it be actual genuine love, not somebody who hear your record
Right.
and shit pop off. Because I remember when he snuck on, and I was like, this shit is amazing.
Yeah.
This shit is amazing. And we got one rule in the Martel house:
What's that?
never ever play yourself with Hov.
Never. Never play yourself.
What?
Never play yourself
Never
with
play
Hov.
yourself with
You
Hov.
know, we don't let people come in here and talk bad about nobody.
Oh,
so when
no,
people
no,
do
no.
like, you know, we do top fives and people get in their feelings about who their favorite rappers is. We're like, look, you don't like Jay, cool, but you ain't gotta play yourself.
No, I like Jay.
No, I'm talking about these other.
Oh,
there be
yeah,
some
yeah.
clowns that be talking crazy.
Hold on, Les. Can I do something real quick? We've been talking to Brother Bone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a young lady to his left, right?
Oh, we was getting to her. We was
Okay.
getting to her. She,
There's a young lady to the left.
Project.
And
Four,
before
three.
we get into that, because I'm ready to get into that. You know I'm ready to get into
That's
that.
love, bro.
We're talking about how you felt during these different moments of before stardom, during stardom, post stardom, you're a household name and all this stuff. I got to ask the first lady. When you think back on that journey.
She wasn't on that journey. This is a different lady.
That's not what I'm getting at.
Okay, let me hear you.
I'm getting at you were like us on this side,
Right.
seeing it from a distance, right? Where were you at
What was your
when
antennas?
you heard "So I'm outside of the club"
Thank God.
and you think I'm a punk?
Yeah.
Like, I
Wow.
need to know from somebody who knows him personally, thinking back on those times and getting to where you are now. Do you ever have those moments like where you look at your man like, yo, I used to dumb out. Like, I done smacked the chick behind this song.
Oh, no.
Like, I'm not saying you did.
I
I'm not
was
saying
never
you
that
did.
chick,
I'm just,
but-
you know.
But I had a box Chevy
Hello.
when
Come
Never
on
Scared
with the
came
box.
out. I actually had two box Chevys.
So I don't
I had a
think you know
maroon one and I had a
storytellers
baby
are
blue
hustling.
one.
OG Award of the Night goes to the
Yeah,
first lady for the
and
box.
I used to test my speakers with Grip It and Grain. I tell them this all the time. Like,
That shit is crazy, right?
yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard that shit. I was at a Piggly Wiggly. That's how crazy it was, right?
Wiggly.
I was at a Piggly Wiggly, right? I had just got my mama something. I forgot what she sent me into the store for, right? And I'm getting dead ass with you. I was home from the military, and she sent me to the store to get something. I'm sitting in the Piggly Wiggly thing, and the DJ at the time, it was Charlemagne. Charlemagne was in Charleston, and he goes, "This new Bonecrusher." I said, "Oh shit! Why?" Why so much? What? And
It just felt good, though.
and then it just bangs
felt
so
good.
Oh, yeah.
hard.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy because around that time I was working at Red Zone. I don't know if y'all know Red Zone.
Yes,
Jimmy
we
Stewart
know
and,
Red Zone.
and Shakespeare. So when I moved here, I'm from Chicago. So when I moved here in '98. That was my first stop. So I was doing guy vocals at Red Zone back then. So I did the first version of the guy vocals of Scrubs. I was on Tamar Braxton's album. I did background. So I've been in the fold. So it's crazy, like all the baseball games. You know, me and Bone talk about this. Like, it's crazy we never met back then because I was in the fold in one unit, and we were all connected to the same people.
Right.
But we never crossed paths. So it's just really unique, to think about how it was back then and just like how dope it is that I was testing my speakers to Gripping the Grain and Never Scared. Like, Gripping the Grain was my shit.
Come on
Never
now.
Scared was dope, too. But
Gripping the
Grain
Grain had a
is
whole
just like
different
a
feeling.
You
whole
tell
nother
somebody that
different.
they feel like you disrespected, never
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
No.
But
See,
that's
you know how I
just
look at
Gripping the
it?
Grain.
Never Scared was ours, and then it became everybody's.
Yeah.
Gripping the Grain is like mine.
Yes.
Like, that's
Yes.
personal.
I mean, I know everybody. Everybody tested their speakers. Everybody to the highest frequency you can turn it, right?
All the way up.
So, I had some very fond memories back in the day. And just being in the music industry, just coming from Chicago, and it really wasn't nothing going on there. And you had to come here for everything. And the first meeting I had here at 15, my cousin Island, he took me to Philip Ranson at So Def, who was one of the attorneys. And so I always tell Bone, like, it's so crazy how we were in these circles in the same moment of time and time and distance, and the universe brought us together when it did, which is just so much
like
more
my
amazing.
Wife.
Yeah,
My wife and I, she used to be making her rounds through the city, and I used to be
Wow.
making the same rounds through the city, and we never saw each other,
Yep.
never spoke, never nothing.
and I'm glad
That's
we
because
did,
that's-
because it would have
that's
been
God's
different.
work, though.
We probably
Divine
would have never
intervention.
been
That's
together.
God's work, though.
Yeah,
That's how he moved. Like, everything is
God's
in
work,
his
though.
time, right?
Yep.
So sometimes you're supposed to go around that block. You pick up a couple things, you drop off some things.
That's right.
And then you come around ready for what's next.
That's
What'd you
right.
say you
Growth.
what?
You pick up a few things and you drop off a few things. Don't
I
forget,
like
you
Drop
gotta
off a whole
drop
lot.
off some
No, let's
things.
drop off a whole
I
lot.
like
You know what I'm saying? If you come on now,
Yeah.
come
So-
on now.
So now, Bone, you've had a second to let the pandemonium die down,
Yeah.
and now you here with Storyteller, and you guys are making moves. I don't think Atlanta knows, man.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Nipsey, but there's a Nipsey right in your city, man. And we, fortunately, in Atlanta have a couple of them. Mike is one of those guys that is out here. Killer Kill from the Ville is always out here. But you got to understand, Bone is too.
Please believe it.
Storyteller is too. They are out here in these recreation centers for these kids. I'm going to let you tell them about the Project 143, and please tell them about what you guys have coming up so everyone knows, this just ain't rap. This
Right.
is a love for everybody in the community here in Atlanta.
Story and I have a consulting firm called Crusher Consulting, and we work with a lot of people, influential people in the city. A lot of them all of them are our friends. We come together for a common cause of love and ethics and friendship, and through that we try to figure out ways to help the city and help the community and help everybody grow financially and mentally. Story actually helped me heal my wounds from my past relationships, and it got me in a space where I had to learn how to love myself, not from a narcissistic standpoint, but from a true boundary standpoint of love and being real with myself and people that were around me that didn't necessarily have my back the way I had theirs. So a lot of people don't know that they're hurting you because they from a hurt space.
Hurt people hurt people.
Exactly. And so we try to, everybody we encounter, we try to make sure that those people understand how we love ourselves and how we can, hopefully it rubs off to make you understand that you should love yourself as well. Project 143 is Project I Love You, which is from the old school, the beeper, you know what I mean? You text somebody, I love you, 143. Yep. And we did some music together, a love project we did together. Also, we've been doing a lot of things in the community kind of on some behind the scenes things. We don't do a lot of upfront stuff. Just try to help kids out in the community. Last year this time, last month, we did a panel on revolt. We put that whole thing together, my wife and me, called State of the Union. It was basically about things we're talking about, how we can come together as a community. And right now we're at an age where we're in our late 40s, early 40s, late 30s. And it's time for us to start realizing that we are adults. We have to show other people that they can be an adult too. And adulting is very fun, and you have to be responsible in that. Teaching kids about financial growth, mental stability. Once again, we go back there. And just kind of like overall what we have to do to better our community. My good friend of mine is Greg Moore, who is the commissioner for the SIAC, and he was one of the guys on the panel that spoke about financial growth and how we can continue to help and help more for our black colleges to make sure that they stay afloat. We can't let that die. We can't let that die down. We have to understand the hereditary value of that, the wealth in that. Wealth is knowledge. And we have to make sure that our children stay in school and go to our schools. There's nothing wrong with going to other people's schools, but our schools are very important. He was talking about the variation of numbers of how black kids go to this school instead of our own schools, and how that hurts the bottom line for our people in our community. That was basically what we talk about on that. And we have a situation where right now we're trying to do another one coming up here very soon, where we have a thing called The Answers, where we answer all the questions that were asked from the panel and from the people in the audience. Everybody was in the audience that was there were some of the most influential people in the city. We had T.I. on the panel, Kenny Burns, Big Daddy Kane, CeeLo Green, Greg Moore, Joyce Wilson, who is the curator for hip hop studies at Georgia Tech. Tigger was there. I said CeeLo.
Bone.
DJ
you know Tigger go wherever you go at.
Yeah, I know Tigger. That's my boy.
Tigger goes wherever you go at.
My boy. We missed one guy. He was supposed to be there, but he wasn't there. He had to work, and he was on a vacation. A good friend of mine. We missed him.
So
we missed him. We missed him.
What I tell people all the time, man, especially in our black community, I would love for everybody to start getting mentally healthy. That is something that is glazed over in the black community a lot. Yeah. We don't take the time to go see anybody because we think that is a stigma attached to that. And me personally, you know, I was overseas. Mm-hmm. You know, Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, those places in war-torn countries. Mm-hmm. And after you see the amount of stuff that you see, you need to talk to someone to unload that type of stuff. But the stuff I see overseas, kids see every day on the west side.
Right.
You know, it could be the west side of Chicago or the west side of Atlanta. Right. People still see those things.
Ghetto is ghetto.
All the way around, from here to Afghanistan. It's the same thing. And a lot of people don't understand that those kids need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, so you guys creating outlets for people to get mentally healthy is something that should be applauded. It's something that everybody in Atlanta should attach themselves to and want to be a part of. So anytime you need this platform here, powered by Martell, we're definitely willing to help.
We're trying to be first in line.
To help any way we can, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on 1 second. Let me say it like this. I'm looking at it from an incarceration standpoint.
Right.
Okay. I was incarcerated for 6 years.
Okay.
So, and I was a teacher's aide the whole time I was there. So I helped thousands of people get their GED while I was there.
Nice.
Okay. That's one thing I can hold my hat on. Right.
Lovely.
Seeing that it was guys in this big dog prison that came straight from juvenile.
Right.
Funneled in. So you get locked up 12, 13, 14 years old. No one is telling you how to deal with your emotions, your feelings, none of that. Nobody's telling you how to, or giving you an example of how to hold on to your sanity.
Right.
I know what it feels like to fall down that rabbit hole, and sometimes people can't pull themselves back up. They don't know how or who to reach out to, what to reach out to pull themselves back up. So to see brothers and sisters like yourself actually making a conscious effort to meet people before it gets that drastic and let them know, like, we've been joking about the music and saying, this is the same man who's saying popping the trunk. But when you know what it means, I'm glad you said it, when you know what it means to love yourself, it hurts to see people that don't know how to do that.
That's real.
It hurts to see people that don't know what it means to actually love and take care of yourself. So the fact that,
but what Bone and them is trying to get across to, it can hurt. But if you mess with us, we can show you how to get over that hump.
Exactly.
Because loving somebody is the ultimate way, and I mean the ultimate way to fix yourself, because you become selfless in that act of love.
I mean, the thing about it, I have friends on the other side, right? And I tell them all the time, I said, could you imagine a community where black people love themselves?
Man,
come on now.
Could you imagine America where black people love themselves?
And it don't have to be nobody else, just black people.
Just love themselves.
Just black people, it'd be amazing.
Love themselves. I mean, we had to do it in the 50s and 60s all the way back down because we had to, because segregation. But now that there's this opportunity through the teachings of Martin Luther King and Maynard Jackson, for those that don't know, that's the mayor, the first black mayor of Atlanta, teaching about loving thyself and loving thy community, and through a wealth-based theology, which became reality because Atlanta is Atlanta because of Maynard Jackson. Maynard Jackson taught us how about financial growth and buying black and buying our community and buying our people, making sure our people stay in positions in order to keep the doctrine moving. It's not by chance that Atlanta is why it's like it is. It's like that because we were taught that there were no boundaries, there was nothing was impossible, right? Absolutely. That's why we had such a big chip on our shoulders, because we always knew that it was possible for us to get where we wanted to go in life. Like, I never knew, like, even from when I was younger, even in Adamsville, I never knew that there was something I couldn't do. I was always taught that, every day, like, if you're going to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man. If you're going to be this guy, be the best guy. If you're going to do this, be the best. And have ethics with it. I've always been like that because that's where I was raised. I was raised to be too selfish, and ends up hurt me in the long run sometimes, but now I'm good. But
that's
emotionally, we've all been at that.
That what good women do for you. Yeah. Clean the backside for you.
What good woman do for you. But the thing about it is that it's in a space where we as a people have to realize that we are strong and we do love each other. And it took me a long time. It took me a minute, man, to just not see my brother as my enemy. Yeah. Like, even walking down the street, I would look at a black man and be like, man, fuck this nigga, man, blah, blah. It took me a while to be like, no, that's stupid. That's my brother. Right. I gradually went from never scared me to family. What's happening? How you doing? Right. I'm so happy about life. It bothers people sometimes. They be like, yo, Bone, what is wrong with him? They thinking I'm just in love with her. But no, I'm in love with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
you can't love somebody else until you love yourself.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, loving someone else open up your shit to a whole different possibility.
Yeah.
So storyteller, what now? Look, I be reminisce. We got Shia over here, right? Shia is our resident shoe fanatic. She tells you about your footwork.
Right.
Now, she put out the top 5 sneakers you need to have for the summer. Now, I'm looking at Bone sneakers, and I'm seeing them. Talk to me real quick, Shia. Give me the lowdown before we wrap this up.
Oh, he's good. he got on the Just Do It pack. So, yeah, he's on point. He know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sneakerhead, actually.
Yeah, listen.
He has moved me out the closet.
She is super duper sneakerhead.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she did.
Oh, excellent.
Too, though.
Oh, yeah, this was something different.
I hate those chunky bottom things.
I don't like it.
I hate
look good on her. See,
I hate them
I like
so
stuff
much.
for other people, but I don't like it for me.
Yeah,
those are cute.
I feel that.
Yeah, she does.
So listen, Bone, we done got into a lot tonight, right? So we always wrap up the shows with a top 5.
Right.
So We doing top 5 Crunk songs ever.
Ever?
Ever.
In no particular order?
No particular order.
Never scared, definitely.
Hello. Air horns and gunshots for that.
Reaction to.
Okay.
That's what, Killer, the one we talking about.
Right.
Man, we ready, Pastor Troy?
Oof.
Come on now.
A lot of people got beat up to that record.
Anthem.
Bia.
Come on now.
Lil Jon. And that's one more left, right? I
Yes,
got a whole
sir.
bunch of them. You just got 5. Damn, top 5. Shit. Number 5.
We stopped them.
Because you know his catalog is so deep.
I'm trying to think of the
He's trying to
bunch
file
of
through
things.
things right now.
Let me think. Which one should I pick?
Shit, you got a top 5?
Of course you got.
All right.
We'll come back.
Serious remix.
Ooh.
Come on now.
Ooh. What about you, Shil? Who you rolling with?
Of course, Never Scared is on the
You
list.
better. You ain't got that building.
Archie Re-Ready.
Okay.
Pastor Troy, No More Play in GA.
Okay. Yeah,
That's one of my favorites. No More Play in GA.
we ready though. Is what we call that. Go for it.
No Limit Soldier.
You know what? That is it. If you want to, that is a Crunk song.
And Break 'Em Off. I have to. That's
Okay.
Storyteller, you are up.
You got top 5 storyteller?
Oh man, definitely never scared.
I don't think you get a choice with that.
So I got top 4, right?
Got 4 left.
Y'all got them already.
So yeah,
Y'all got 'em already.
He pretty much snatched
There's a whole
my.
bunch of them, actually.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
But
Y'all
one of
got
my
'em.
favorite ones is, and when it came on, it almost started a riot too.
Well, nothing
No
to go-
problems, Little Scrappy.
Oh, yeah. You don't want no problem.
Yeah.
You don't want no problem with me.
Monster.
When he say, hit him back, man, fuck that nigga. Woo-hoo, Lord. Woo-hoo, Lord. My mama might not love me if I scream
I
that
ain't even
to
got
her.
no more lists because Bone took all my goddamn lists. But go ahead.
That's
All
right.
right. So you already said I'm Serious remix. Okay. I had to put I'm Serious remix on there.
Right.
One time for Tip and everybody that was on the song. Sean Paul, Sharp Crease. Get Crunk, Lil Jon, and my man Bo Hagan.
Yo,
Who am I? Bo Hagan
you know
being
Bo
me
Hagan?
representative.
Hold on, wait a minute. You know Bo Hagan, right? You need to tell Bo Hagan he owe us an album. And I want him to do an album. No, tell him don't do 2019 album.
The city of Columbus will forever love Bo Hagan. Just know that.
We want Crunk era Bo Hagan. You know what I'm saying? That's what I.
Bo Hagan can walk in any room and say, who am I? And somebody's going to say the rest of that line. You understand? So I had to put that. Come on now. I did put Damn because Damn by the Youngbloods was a part of that shit.
It was a monster too.
There would be no. Yes. I had to put that on there. One time for Attic Crew. One time for Jim Crow. We used to go through our high school. We're singing Bandits every day.
Cuddy Cartel.
Cuddy. We some bandits, baby. I'm sorry. It's a family thing. Okay. So I got I'm Serious, Damn, Get Crunk. You gotta say Tear the Club Up, 3-6 Mafia. You just got to.
That shit there is insane.
And because I'm in Atlanta, and they don't get enough credit.
Oh, Swagger.
No, sir.
Nothing you bought.
No, sir. No. East Side, West Side, Baby D, and Oomp Camp. Now in Columbus, we said East Side, South Side. I remember they came to Family Day in the Park in Columbus, Georgia, back in the day, and the whole crowd booed that song. Now let me explain something. The city of Columbus loves that song. Okay, anybody you know from Columbus, Georgia, from 706 loves that song. Muskogee County, stand up. But the South Side and the East Side are these sections of town that run the whole city.
Right.
And it caused them to stop their song and say, okay, well, what side y'all claiming then? And the entire park in unison started screaming, East Side Ho, South Side Ho. And then when they went to the other one, East Side B.I., East Side B.I.
Just imagine
One time for Big
if
Baby D
black folks
and County.
had as much unity amongst themselves as we have when swag surfing come on.
Yeah.
We changed the world. We would change the world. We would change the world. You know what this? I'm on hypnotic. Hold on. You know what I realized tonight? Tonight's interview made me realize one thing.
What is that?
That if Southern hip hop is not, let me get this right. If you can't acknowledge the importance of Southern hip hop on the culture of the world, you need to go lay down somewhere, because there's so many things in the world that have shifted based on the Southern leg of hip hop, straight up and down. You can't cut on the TV and not see a commercial without Southern hip hop being represented, not just hip hop, Southern hip hop. Them bass lines you hear, that 808 heavy driven, like 808's been around for a long time, but don't nobody do it the way the South do it.
As long as there's that tick tick, followed by that bomb.
Come on now.
Now,
Come on now. Come on now.
ladies
Come on
and
now.
gentlemen, I just want to thank everybody for being here.
Yeah.
Thank y'all
It
so
has been,
much.
it's been very glorious.
It's time for me to go now.
You know what I'm saying?
Now it's time to say goodbye to all your podcast friends.
Hello.
Yes. Storyteller, you got anything upcoming that you want to tell the people about?
Well, we got a lot coming. We got the Answers Tour coming.
Come on.
Project 143 coming. Y'all look out for Barry Hughes, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Look
Lock
out
that
for Barry
in.
Hughes and Jay David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Bone? What you got to tell them?
Well, first of all, ice cream will be sold throughout the summer. In a small truck. I'll be outside the State Farm Marina in an ice cream truck with a large afro on it. Giving out pecan ice cream scoops, and dipped in chocolate and vanilla.
Yes.
That's what's coming this summer.
Tell them where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on social media, Real Bonecrusher, Instagram. Our Love is Facebook, and Planet Crusher is my Twitter. You know what's so funny? I learned how to say that real fast like that from working at the radio station at Boom 102.9. That's crazy.
Boom.
Hey, you know, let me tell you something. He don't want me to say nothing, but I'm going to say this. My good friend gave me, well, he wasn't my friend then. He was my boss, and he gave me an opportunity to be on the radio, and I just want to thank him for giving me that opportunity to get a chance to learn something new and become a DJ on air. My boy, Hurricane Dave.
Hurricane!
So much.
Hurricane!
I'm saying Hurricane.
Oh man! Hey, listen. I had to. First of all, Dave didn't think I was serious, right? I asked Dave every fucking day, can I be a DJ? Dave was like, "Bro, you don't want to do this shit. This ain't for you, man." I was like, "Hey, man, listen, man, I want to do it. I'm a block away. I can walk up there." He's like, "Bro, you gonna walk up there?" I said, "Man, I'm going to walk to the station." He said, "Man, then after about 14 years of that."
Hurricane, if you're interested in helping another,
You know what I mean?
I got a car and I'll drive.
We's available. If you need more personalities, we might can run the boards too.
You know what? It's crazy because most people that are like me, supposedly, they don't run the board. They have a producer. Dave was a stickler for me being an employee, and I had to learn the board, and I'd like to thank him.
I want to learn the board too, Dave.
That's real. Right. That's real tough. Hey, man.
That's what's up.
Hey,
One time for Hurricane Dave in the
my
building.
problem is I love my friends too much, man. That's my
Hello,
problem.
as you should.
So, Sheila, where can they find you at? I know you ain't get a lot going on this show here, but you checked in with the feet work. Give them up.
Yeah, you can catch me on Instagram, What Up Dread, DRED, missing the
When are
A.
you changing your name?
I'm
We've
not
already discussed
sure
that.
yet. I mean, I know you like Fly Ass
Fly
Shia,
Ass
but
Shia
I'm
is
not
your
sure
name.
if I'm sold on that. So if
Fly
you
Ass
got
Shia.
right,
Fly Ash.
you got any suggestions?
That's dope.
You like Fly Ass Shia?
I mean, I wouldn't use it as a tag, but I'm grown though. I'm super grown.
He don't like it.
I'm
He
not,
don't like
I'm
it.
not young. I'm not. I'm
All
not
right.
young. I'm really grown.
for your name.
Yeah, I'm really
I need another name then. I can't use
I'll be
it.
like,
I
what's
can't
your
use
government name, please, young lady? Name yourself that. And behind that, make sure there's nothing explicit on your
What'd you
page,
say?
please.
Mama named Clay. I'm
Mama name
Clay.
I'm gonna call him Clay.
Jay, where can they meet you at, brother?
If you don't know, I'm gonna tell you. You can find me on Instagram at J_Fleming. That's JAY_Fleming. You can find me on Facebook, J Fleming, and on Snapchat, which I never use, King_J Fleming. I only use it when I go live at events.
Every fucking time.
Because I mean, I just want people to follow it just because I got one. You know what I'm saying?
You're not
But
gonna use it. Don't tell them to follow it, bro.
follow it because you never know. How can they find you, big homie?
Listen, man. It's your boy LES. Always say less. I could say more, but why I am always less on Instagram, Mister. If your baby mama real, she'll tell you that she love me.
Oh my Lord.
Um,
Oh my Lord! Don't forget
hell
to
of a
follow.
tag.
Right.
A hell of a hashtag there, sir.
Don't forget to follow our social media platforms for the show. You can find us on Facebook, Let's Cook, on Instagram at letscook.ics.
is that it?
Yeah.
This shit has been legendary.
Yo, we had a motherfucking legend in the building. Everybody in the room, make some noise one time, please.
Until next time, you bitches.
Oh!